Prologue. Slavery officially ended in 1865, but nearly 100 years later, prejudice against African Americans continued. Many states in the South had Jim Crow laws, unfair rules that required black Americans to go to separate schools, live in separate neighborhoods, and eat in separate restaurants from white Americans. In the 1950s, a movement was started to change that system. Black and whites worked together, organizing demonstrations, marches, and other peaceful protests, but they risked their lives to do so. They were arrested and attacked. Some had their homes burned down, others were even murdered. One of the great leaders of the civil rights movement was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who said, "Nonviolence is a powerful and just weapon, which cuts without swords and ennobles the man who wields it. It is a sword that heals." This is the story of four teenagers who took up that sword. Scene 1. It is February 1st, 1960, a Monday afternoon in Greensboro, North Carolina. Four African American teenagers meet up at their college library. "So, are we really going to do this?" "Absolutely. I'm wearing my best suit. I didn't sleep at all last night. Neither did I." "We can't back out now." "Does everyone know the plan?" "We go in and buy something like regular customers." "This is never going to work." "What's the worst thing that could happen?" "We get arrested, or we end up with our heads split open, brought back to campus in pine boxes." "Let's stick to the plan. And remember, whatever happens, no balance." The four boys walked downtown, their gazes fixed straight ahead. They rounded the corner onto Elm Street and walked into Woolworth department store. They have been to this store many times before, but this time their hearts were pounding. David approaches the stationery counter. "I'd like to buy these pencils, please." "That will be 50 cents. David pays and takes his receipt. Franklin and Joe nod at each other and silently walk to the lunch counter. They sit down. David and Ezel join them. The waitress stared at them with shock and amazement. The room gets deadly quiet, except for the squeak in the square stool as Ezel sits on his hand to stop them from shaking. Scene 2. Flashback to 14 hours earlier. The boys are in their college dormitory. "So, Joe, how was your trip?" "I went to New York to see my family. Coming back south, I was okay until I got to the bus station in Greensboro. I tried to buy a sandwich, but they wouldn't serve me. I'm getting tired of being treated like a second-class citizen. I heard they might close the public pool rather than allow black people to swim there." "How have your parents lived like this for so long? You know, we stay up every night talking about how we don't like the way blacks are treated. Maybe we're hypocrites." "What do you mean?" "We're all talk, and no action. Maybe it's time to do something. How can the four of us change the entire city of Greensboro? We have to get people attention and show them how unjust segregation is. Well, we can't boycott a store because they'll throw us in jail and say we're taking business away. What if we go somewhere that's for whites only and try to give them our business?" "Like where?" "A place where the racism is obvious, like Woolworth department store. We can shop there, but we aren't allowed to sit down at the lunch counter." "You're suggesting we sit where no black person has ever sat before and asked to be served?" "Exactly. They'll beat us up." "Not if we are quiet and respectful. We will dress nicely and we won't do anything to provoke them." Let's do it tomorrow before I lose my nerve. They'll never serve us. Then we'll sit at the counter until they do. Scene 3. At the lunch counter the next afternoon, the four boys sit, waiting to see if they will be arrested or worse. For many minutes, nothing happened. The waitress ignores them. White patrons glare, but no one moves. Excuse me, ma'am. We like to be served. I'm sorry, I can't serve you here. We would just like a cup of coffee, please. You can go to the stand-up counter downstairs. She walked away. A black countermaid comes over. What are you boys doing? You're stirring up trouble, making it harder for the rest of us. Go back to campus, please. She storms off. The manager comes over. Is there a problem? No, sir. We'd like to order some coffee, please. Boys, I can only serve you downstairs. You served me when I brought pencils a few minutes ago, just 5 feet from here. As I said, you can order whatever you want downstairs. Thank you, but we prefer to sit here with your other customers. You can't sit here. Is it against the law? No, it's just the way things are. Do you think the way things are is just? Don't matter what I think. It's store policy. With respect, sir, we don't agree with your policy, and we're going to sit here until we're served. An elderly white customer finishes her donut and walks toward them. Franklin steels himself for his harsh words. The woman pulls her hands on Franklin's shoulder. Boy, I'm so proud of you. I just wish you had done this 10 years ago. The boys swell with pride and sit a little taller, knowing someone is on their side. By now, a crowd has gathered, staring and pointing. A police officer walks in. We're done for. Okay, that was scene 3. And we're going to come down and continue. The officer stalks up and down the aisle behind them menacingly, slapping his nightstick into his palm. We could crack our scores. He could crack our skulls with that. He could crack our skulls with that. The officer talks to Mr. Harris. What's the situation? Everybody knows that the lunch counter is for whites only. I can't arrest them for just sitting there. Have they started any fights or said anything inflammatory? No, they have been nothing but polite. Then I suggest you close the store early. This will all blow over in a day or two. I couldn't be too sure about that, or I wouldn't be too sure about that. Scene 4. Okay, young people, I have to stop because I have to get back to class, but there's more. I just wanted to give you an idea of the reading. You notice I made a few mistakes, but did I give up? No, I kept going. So that is what I'm expecting of you. We are going to practice. You're going to read, and then you are going to be ready to show me the performance until we get it straight. All right, I'll see you in class.